So I think something is quite clear at the moment is when we pay a team to do a job, they should be doing it to their best extent. And I think that is what the quant team are doing. They really are pushing ahead, it seems. Now, we have got another proposal up in relation to the burning of the 800 million UST. We'll be diving into it. But I voted for the other four. I've put a tweet out to say that I voted for the other four. If you folks as a community and other people want to see a burn, I'm not going to stand in the way. If the quant team believe that burning it, even with the historical evidence, is better than doing any other route, then that's what we're paying them to do. Ultimately, if it all goes wrong, right, they're the ones to blame. And, you know, that's all we can do. So ultimately, my opinion is right now, burn all of it. If you can, burn it in a mature, legal and safe manner, which is not intrusive. Now, if we look at this proposal, which is a text proposal, which is 11675, it will need manual implementation. But in this, it specifically states about burning that USTC or erasing the USTC completely from existence. Now, this is in an intrusive manner. The even more worrying thing, and this is something I really, really don't like about certain people who are in the quant team, right? A new account's popped up called Foreskin, and they're a member of the USTC task force. You know, come on. Like, come on. Seriously? Like, you're not helping yourself at this point. Anyway, getting back to this proposal. So, what they're proposing, okay, is to change and alter the blockchain's state. Okay, this is a totally intrusive method, which I'm sure is illegal. I'm sure it's illegal for many different reasons, but at the point we commit to something like this, to change the chain state, to go into intrusively into a wallet, the whole chain is compromised at that point, okay? Someone has been able to write a line of code, get it implemented with the approval of all of the other validators to simply burn somebody else's coins. I don't think this is the route that we should be going. Yes, we should be burning the tokens, coins, whatever you want to call them, but we should be doing it correctly. Now, from what we know in the background, the original proposal states that if a counter proposal is put forward for the returning of those funds, if those funds are not utilized for what was specified, they will return them. Any intrusive methods, it's a no with a veto. It's not even a no. It's a no with a veto from me, because honestly, being able to just wipe a balance out from a wallet simply by putting an update through, it's scary, right? Because we need to look at smart contracts. Smart contracts hold a lot of coins in them. LUNC Penguins holds the majority of the staking rewards in those smart contracts, right? What if they suddenly decide, do you know what? Let's wipe all USTC out. We've already got this one put through. We've managed to wipe this out. Let's just put a proposal up. We'll get the sway of the top validators and we'll wipe out all of the USTC in existence, right? That's when things start to become very questionable. And what this includes is installing a new version of the Terra client before block height, whatever they set it at. And they believe this would set a powerful precedent for the community burning other large pools of derelict USTC supply. Now, the biggest issue is they've not mentioned that this USTC, it doesn't belong to us, even though, yes, it came from the community pool. It's in a wallet that we do not own nor control. It's so questionable, it hurts. It really hurts. So the blockchain itself, right, is a very sensitive piece of data. And each validator runs the identical update, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. It's so hard to think of technical terms that you'll understand. More or less, we all run the same code base. We all agree that this is the software we should be running, and everybody runs that. If someone runs out-of-date software, they go into slashing, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you change the blockchain's state to do this, it's the most intrusive way you could do it. It's even worse, right, than burning coins in contracts. You've actually been able to go into a wallet. Right, so let me explain, right? If you've lost coins, if you've got wallets you can't access, right, there is no one who could tell you couldn't pass a proposal after this one passes to access your dead wallet and gain all of your dead coins that you can't reach anymore. Think about it. In theory, you could alter what they're wanting to do to this chain state, and you could apply that to the ANXU wallet. That's the dead wallet. That's the burn wallet, right? Now, something that has been mentioned is they'll be burning so they can actually mint more later. And I think that's something a lot of people are overlooking, that yes, they do actually want to burn a lot of coins, but they want to remint those later. And the reason why is they can actually generate liquidity to do stuff with at that point, and reducing the supply as much as they can now is going to help their beneficial cause themselves, because they'll simply be able to just mint a ton of USTC like Alex wanted to originally. So I think, you know, there's a lot to think about when someone puts a proposal like this forward, which simply states burn 100% of the ozone funds, because really what it should say is apply a blockchain, an upgrade that will change the blockchain's state to intrusively access Risk Harbor's wallet to burn the 800 million USTC. The difference is if they worded it like that, the likelihood of the community going for it is slim. But whereas if you word it as just simply burn 100% of the ozone funds, everybody's just going to be like, yes, do it. Let's burn it. If we can burn it, let's burn it. But, you know, you've got to go in. You've got to do this intrusively. This involves a whole... I mean, this is like opening Pandora's box at this point. It's like a god line of code someone would introduce, like a pseudo line of code, which more or less gives you God mode. And it's at that point, right, that they've learned that, hey, we can burn whatever we want in whatever wallet, and we'll just put it forward and we'll get it voted through. What I hope is a lot of the validators will see that, yes, this is burning 800 million USTC, but ultimately it's an intrusive manner. So I am going to no with a veto this for the simple fact that it's intrusive and we shouldn't go this way about burning it. If there's evidence to support that Luna V2 has had funds returned from Risk Harbor in the same way, then I'm sure we can. But then at the same time, TFL kicked me out of their space. They're quite happy to speak to Hexagon, but won't speak to someone like me who's actually trying to make a difference. So it all becomes highly questionable, right? But at the same time, no matter what happens, we should never introduce any blockchain states that create intrusive methods of going into a wallet and simply burning or removing coins. Because like I said, right, all of these different wallets that are lost, all the NFTs, everything on the chain that's ever been lost, right, then comes into question. Like, well, if they've managed to do that, why can't you get your 1 billion LUNC coins that you've lost because you lost the monomics to your wallet? 100% there's people out there like that. And, it all comes down to that, doesn't it? Can they then start accessing coins that we've burnt LUNC wise? Will they start to do all of these weird things? And, it's our job as a community to ensure that we are questioning things, even with people pushing forward so fast, because ultimately sometimes people will go so fast in the effort to try and confuse and lull the community into sort of these false senses of security, whereas I'm never going to let that happen. I'm always going to question, especially when someone wants to introduce an update that a validator like myself has to agree to install to then allow the draining of funds out of a wallet. Like I said, I believe it's actually illegal to do this, even though we're in DeFi, right? I think it's illegal to do this because okay, let's take a deeper dive quickly before I end this video. All of the Terraport funds that all of you have lost, okay, if they're able to do this, they would be able to then take those funds from all of those wallets that have been frozen and give that money back to Terraport. And the reason why you can't do that is because that's not how DeFi works. Nothing like that works like this. It's not a banking system. And I think people fail to understand that. So yes, I support the burn. I want to see the USTC burn across board. If that's what the quant team think, that's what they think. But when some member that's on the quant team called Foreskin wants to burn 100% of the ozone funds, but actually go in intrusively to do this with a block changing state. Big no from me. Folks, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Let me know if you think it's okay to go in intrusively and do this. I think some people, a lot of you might think it's okay to do this. You might not understand the implications that will come from this, but ultimately no one will want to build on this blockchain after something like that comes along. It's it all becomes compromised to the utmost extent. At that point, it's not good. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody pretending to be me. Do remember, the only place to get updates is here. If you're looking elsewhere to see if I've put out, tweets or anything, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to shove it in your faces anymore. I'm not going to run around like a headless chicken trying to get people to support, subscribe, like, and all that stuff. If you want to do it, you'll do it. And that's human nature at the end of the day. I will catch you in the next one.